Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Wallflower Readathon. This is our second live show. I'm very excited. We're going to be discussing Secrets of a Summer Night. This is the official first book within the series. We started on Christy's channel this way with, again, the magic. I love to see that there are people here. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I personally am a first-time reader of Secrets of the Summer Night. So I would like to know if this is everyone's first time, if it's a reread for you. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves and also talk about what our rating was for this book. And maybe we'll wrap up with like a little quick synopsis. But I'm so glad everyone's here. Welcome. I'll go last. I'm going to let Christy kick us off.
Okay. Hi, I'm Christy, and my channel and Instagram and all of my things is Christy Reads a Lot. And this was my, I don't even know, multiple reread of this book. I've read it maybe 4 times now. I love this series so much. I could talk about Lisa Kleypas and this series forever and ever. So this was a 5-star read for me. Yet again, I just love Annabelle and like Simon Hunt so much and meeting all the Wallflowers. So that's my quick little intro.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings, and I'm so happy to be at this live show because I couldn't be at the last one. But this is my first time rereading this book and this series. Though, again, the magic I've read a little more. I've read that one like 3 times. This is my second time reading. But this is like a plot twist because the first time that I read this, I gave this 3 stars. And I have to wonder, I can't remember if I had the audiobook or not the first time that I read this book. And that does affect my enjoyment if I have it or don't have it, because I love audiobooks. They are everything to me. And so I have to wonder if that affected my reading experience. I don't know. At the time, I felt that the book was very slow. That was like my main critique. Anyways, this time I gave it 5 stars. So big difference in enjoyment for sure. I agree with with Christy. I loved Annabelle and Simon's romance this time around, especially. It was really great. And I also you gotta love the Wallflowers themselves, the 4 of them meeting, the 4 of them becoming friends. Like, that's one of the things that will always stand out about this series is the amazing friendship. I've read some other historical romance series that have like a close-knit group of friends like the Wallflowers, but it's just like not the same, So yeah, absolutely love this. I do have some things to bring up later about like the editing of this book. But loved it.
Well, she bumped it up, Monica. She bumped it up.
Way up.
I mean, Rosalind Landor as the audiobook narrator, like she will always.
Yes, I love her.
An icon.
Although I'll take Mary Jane Wells over.
I love her too.
Yes,
I love her too.
I love Mary Jane Wells.
Yeah.
I love her so much. Oh, last summer when we were doing the Tessa Dare and Mary Jane Wells, when we did that, what was the one? It was that short novella. It was like a Christmassy one, and he was French. He wasn't really French. But Mary Jane Wells with a French accent. Oh my God.
Okay. It's
So good. So, hey, I'm B from Mama Needs to Read Romance and everything that Rachel just said.
You're like, ditto.
The end. No, this is, I think, my 3rd time reading this. The first time I read this as a first book in the series. So I didn't understand like Livia and Gideon. And I'm like, what?
Right. Me too.
Right?
Yes.
It's so much better if you've read it after, again, the magic. Yes. And then also I would say, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about this I feel like I like it better with the prologue. So I like to read. Yes. And I was talking to Tara of Tara Talks Books. She noticed, she's been listening and reading, and she said she noticed even more little changes throughout. I only knew about the prologue. So I was like,
yep.
Yeah. So I enjoyed this. And I was saying the same thing. I finally wrote a review on Goodreads last night when I finished it, because I didn't write a review years ago when first time I read it. But just like Rachel said, the friend group often replicated, never duplicated. You know, it was just there's something special about this group. So that's my take. Oh, and I initially gave it 4 stars, and now I bumped it up to 4.5.
Yes.
Love it.
Every once in a while, we got a 4-star here as well. It's definitely a 5. So same thing. Oh my gosh. I reread Secrets of Summer Night, said it still loves Simon Hunt and Annabelle, all the stars. I love that. This was my first time reading this. I definitely wanted to read the prologue. We'll probably get into that discussion. I've got a banner planned. But I loved meeting the friend group. They were absolutely hilarious. I love the Bowman sisters. I love Daisy. And I did enjoy the romance. I don't know why the prologue was cut. It was also darker than I was expecting in terms of showing the plight of women without means and their limited options. So I thought it was very interesting that they chose to cut out the prologue in its entirety in relation to some of the other things that were on the page. So that was shocking to me. And I love a country party. I love country party antics. I love the unity of space and time. And I had all like the summer vibes, the walking and the bug bites and the everything, but their friend group leapt off the page for me. And it was a lot of fun going through and figuring out what I might be getting later on. And I squealed when I saw Olivia and Gideon. I was so excited. I was like, oh, this is what everyone's talking about. This is the house. This is the house. I had such a fun time. And I ended up rating it 4 stars.
Okay.
Rating it 4 stars.
Okay.
Just because I mean we're coming right after like Again the Magic.
Yes.
And I also I was questioning the commentary that I saw about it not being as steamy. I was like, I'm seeing a lot in there. So I really I was like, there's a lot of stuff going on in this,
right?
Dialogue and everything. So I just really liked how it just showed the plight of women and how they band together.
Yeah.
Husband hunting as a team sport. Love
it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I also want to point out that like B just brought this up. I think the first time I read this was my first Lisa Kleypas book. I don't think that I read Again the Magic first. So I have to wonder if that also affected my enjoyment the first time. Because then this time, obviously, I read Again the Magic first, and then I went into this. And so that definitely like brought some context, and like I already enjoyed characters like Westcliff and Livia and so forth. So like, yeah, I definitely would recommend like please read this series in order. I had no idea that Again the Magic was a prequel though at the time. I had like no clue. But yeah, just wanted to bring that up.
Same.
Yeah.
Squealed. 5 stars now. Read it for the first time in April and then reread it again this month. Love it. 5 stars.
So good.
5 stars.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. For me too, Cheryl. I don't know. There's a couple things. It felt like a group book, which I really love. I mean, just come on. They're everything. Yeah. Reread 4 stars. Annabelle bugged me sometimes. I have the rewritten version, but I finally found the original prologue online, and I wish I had the original version. Yeah, it was so important for me to get that because I didn't know what was going to be cut and what was there, what wasn't there. And I guess we should get into our thoughts about the prologue or any other changes that you noticed between the audiobook and
because I noticed not quite a bit, but a bit, because like I consider myself lucky that like this is the original version that I have. The ebook that I read, because whenever I can read an ebook, I will, because I love my Kindle so much. But the ebook that I read and the audiobook that I listened to were both the edited version. This is the original. And so like as we were going into it was really funny because I got like 4 chapters in and I was like, I definitely remember a scene where they're at like the panorama and they kiss. I'm like, what? Come on. And so I flipped to the beginning of my book and I'm like, what? Like it was just cut.
Right? Yeah.
Like the new version, which I don't understand because it's literally one of the most memorable scenes of this book for me, all the 5 years ago. And like that scene has always stuck out in my mind. And then like there are a few other things that I noticed as well that were cut. I did see a comment that said that a couple of steamy scenes were cut. I would have to like go digging into this again to find those, but I definitely noticed just like a couple of scenes that they cut, like that I felt added a lot to the story. So I'm like, why? What are we doing? What is with this edit?
Yeah.
I heard that it was because there was questionable consent in the prologue where he just sort of takes advantage and kisses her. But I feel like you can like Annabelle more later on if you have an understanding of why she's trying to distance herself from Simon.
Yes.
As opposed to like, oh, he's just common. I think that's the kind of what you get. And you don't like Annabelle as much if you haven't read the prologue, you know?
Yeah. I definitely think it takes some like nuance away.
Yes.
Because it's like, why doesn't she's just has this heat for him, and I don't think it would be underscored by chemistry, which right after reading, well, we can talk about the prologue. Yeah. I didn't know that it depended on the addition for the editing though. And I thought this was steamy too. I do enjoy steam in my books, but I wasn't expecting it to be as steamy because of some of the comments that I saw about, again, the magic being the steamiest in the series. So I'm like, I'm gonna test that claim. But but
I would say Devil in Winter might be the steamiest. I think. Well, again, the magic has twice couples though.
Yeah,
like so you're getting more steam. But I feel like the writing is steamiest in Devil in Winter, personally. But
I can't wait.
And have you read that one, Tiffany? Have you read Devil in Winter yet?
No. I remember I read Devil in Disguise, and I
Okay.
So I'm all backwards. And
so we cannot spoil Tiffany for the rest of the series.
I can't wait.
I'm excited.
Okay, here's a random fact that I was noticing. Remember at the very end, the epilogue, where Simon's sister meets a guy abroad and his name is Mr. Keir, and I was like, Keir, why is that name sticking out to me? And it happens to be the first name of our hero in Devil in Disguise. Okay. And they're probably not related, but still I was like, that's kind of interesting. Like I was like a little Easter egg.
I'm going to be kind of all the Easter egg things. I cannot.
Right?
I cannot.
We need a map.
Looking. Yeah, we do. I've kind of already started it, but the panorama was so good. Like I was thinking, it reminded me of like when I was learning about how people felt when they saw their first film and they were scared of the train coming at them. I'm like, this is just this is their like modern Marvel. And I think it does a really good job of ushering you into why Annabelle needs to marry, what her financial plight is, also the dynamic between her and her brother, like 10 years younger, yet she still needs a chaperone, just all of those dynamics of like them not like just the price hike on the tickets would have completely wiped out what they have been saving for nearly all year. Right. And the social implications of just Simon Hunt. I think without having the prologue, not knowing that he's the son of a butcher, that he's an entrepreneur that's frowned upon. Like there were so many like little aspects just she does such a good job with that, doesn't she? I mean, give that woman 20 pages and you're hooked. I cannot.
Yes.
I loved that. And I think I knew going into, the country party that it was more about the way that Simon Hunt made her feel. She had never felt that like inner rumbling in all of his masculinity and how his presence just completely eclipsed the entire show. That should have been just like her brother was just marveled, and so was everybody else, but she's entirely focused on him. I thought she was more angry at herself and like fearful of that than he was scoffing at his social standing, because even her brother calls her out on that in the prologue. I think the prologue added so much, and I got the tension and why she was trying to avoid him from that. And I don't know why, out of all of the things,
out of all the things in all of her books, right? Like I knew that they had edited, and I'll be very curious to see how this plays out. I know that they had edited It Happened One Autumn. I had no idea that they had edited. I assume all of the books are edited in some way then. I have no idea, in the Wallflower series at least. And so, yeah, I feel like it definitely does this book a disservice to just completely cut the prologue. Like, if it really was about the kiss, like, there's so much more to that prologue than the kiss. So, like, I guess cut that, but like, if you really have to, but like, I love, there's even just a couple of paragraphs about him like making comments in her ear and she like can't help but laugh. Like, I love that. Like, yeah, it just adds a lot of context to their relationship. And it really just makes me sad that it was cut, because like, obviously, like, new readers coming to this series, they're not going to know that things were cut out. Like, they're just going to read the current edition. And I think that's a problem. Like,
yeah, you know. I agree.
That was my experience with Mine Till Midnight. I had no idea that things were cut out of Mine Till Midnight, and I had to have friends be like, "No, this was cut, that was cut," and I'm like, "It's a completely different book."
Yes, I agree.
Completely different book. Going back, and I'm like, oh, I felt cheated. Okay, because I'm a backlist reader that comes to the party late. Okay, first time reader. I love to see that there are other first time readers on here, because I had no idea. So I felt a little slighted personally.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's because she doesn't want to present herself in a certain light to new readers, or if it was publishing or what, but it's happening. It's like, I'm trying to fight against it.
Yeah, that book to me, I think, is her most edited book. Because I definitely remember like listening to that audiobook, and I was following along with my original paperback. And once again, thank God I have that original paperback.
Yeah.
There were like multiple scenes taken out. Like not just I totally understand changing the language of talking about like the Romany characters in that book, but like scenes were taken out like for no reason. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what is going on?
I never knew why she hated Simon so much. Now I finally found out and read the prologue and understand better. Yeah, because I was trying to imagine, like, if I hadn't read this beginning part, it would just be like, why is she avoiding Simon Hunt? Is it because Westcliff likes him? I like Marcus. Like, you know, what is going on? Oh my God.
Truly. And the fact, and it's hard to like Annabelle too, when you find out that one of the few like keystone characters from the first book, Marcus, doesn't like Annabelle. I had completely forgotten that she threw herself at him, and she's admitting it. She's like, he had a right to not like me because I was doing that.
He's like, that girl is desperate over there. Avoid her. Yeah.
So it's hard to like her when you know that. So
and I don't know why there are maybe they started making changes and then they kept going. I don't know why there's so many different changes in the different versions either. That's interesting.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that means that we're not all having the same experience. I'm very confused.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be like if there were multiple versions of a movie floating out there, like just and scenes taken out, and like, you know, like, okay, then like what? Like, it's almost like we're not talking about the exact same book.
Yeah.
If you read the original version and I only listened to the current audiobook. You know, like,
yeah, it doesn't make it's like when they cut there were certain episodes of Degrassi. I'm just throwing it back here. Degrassi was a favorite of mine. Manny had a certain storyline. It was available in Canada. It wasn't available here. Okay. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, this is totally making so much more sense to her development and her bad girl thong moment. If you've ever seen that show, it made sense. So it's like I was running off a completely different storyline, and that's how it feels. You just kind of feel slighted.
And I think at the end of the day, like, can we just be upfront about the editing? Like, I mean, I don't have like a brand new paperback on me, but like, I don't know, like this one has a sticker of like great read, great price. Okay, maybe put like
revised.
You want to put stickers on the book that we can't take off. Give a girl a hint. Okay. Add those. That is a good point. And put it on the back.
Yes, put it on the back for sure. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just very shady to me. Like,
yeah.
You know.
I love this for you, that this is news that they've edited and you've only had the original. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, I feel like it's a conversation every time we have live shows for like any of her books, because practically all of them had been edited now and are being revised. And I think we talked about it on the live show, Rachel, which you weren't there, but the book that comes out at the end of the month for her first book in the Bow Street Runner series is completely redone. It's a completely different story. Same name, same title, same like ISBN. So if people purchase it, they're going to have the new version. And there is a whole letter from like Lisa Kleypas. I put it in like the group chat.
I saw that letter.
Yeah. And so there's a letter from her saying how she completely wanted to redo the book for like the 20th anniversary. And like, it doesn't represent how she is today as a writer. And if people picked her up, she wants to like represent her now. So it's like a completely different work. She's like same title, but like totally different story, had different like ideas.
Whoa.
So it's an interesting choice instead of like go write a new book, you know?
Retitle it. That's my thing of like retitle it, do a completely different cover.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I feel very conflicted about that. Well, now that just makes me want to like read the original version as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
So that, like,
it comes out the end of the month. So I would do that before it changes.
Yeah, that was one of my first.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's book that I read by her. So I'm like, I don't know.
Wow.
And
that's crazy.
Again, the magic before was awesome because when they showed up to the house party, meeting the Wallflowers. Can we talk about this? Is like this is the highlight for me, was their meet. I think it's their meet cute. Okay.
I love them.
Oh, I love that.
It was their meet cute.
It's their meet cute.
Yes.
And I already started my mind map of what I want to look for as a first-time reader throughout this series. Like Lillian, when they start talking about the kind of men that they're looking for, and Annabelle's like, I'll take it. But like Lillian and Daisy had some of the funniest moments in this book. I absolutely adored her. And then Evie, they're also different. And I loved seeing what each of them are looking for. Like Lillian's looking for tall, dark, handsome, and dancing. Okay. And a lover of consent. So I'm trying to see if she ends up with tall, dark, handsome, and a lover of consent.
So excited for this journey for you.
I know, I'm so excited.
Just like, I can't wait. And what was it? Evie wants to fall in love.
Yes.
And Daisy wants a well-read man, specifically in Shakespeare poetry, wearing spectacles and nature walking. I'm like, okay, girl. Like, good night.
Yeah. She knows what she wants.
Well,
I love Lillian say like, well, we're not going to be looking at the same guys. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love Lillian. She's so brash.
I am
just
obsessed with Lillian.
I love her so much.
And their relationship with each other. Like, so funny. So entertaining. Like, there's so many like little quips in this book that I had to like highlight on my Kindle. Like, so funny. So funny.
Their banter is everything. It's like they read like sisters. It's so hilarious. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. And there were I love the moment where they offer, she's like, I'm just gonna give you some of my dresses. I don't need them.
Yeah.
And they're gonna look better on you. And when Annabelle realizes like this is the first time like I've had like friends, like when they're writing back and forth, the letters that they're writing back and forth, what does she call them? Like fairy godmothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Especially because, like, obviously back in this time, the marriage marked the whole thing. Like, it definitely wasn't set up for women to be friends. It was set up for women to compete against each other. Like, you know, and so it's so heartwarming to see, like, the four of them just, like, sitting at this ball and they just start talking. And like, it's just so sweet.
I love it.
So good. Yeah, like instead of stepping on each other's toes or like, you know, trying to push the other one away to get the guy, they're like helping each other out, sharing dresses. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm like this amount of power when women come together. This party's going on, that party. I heard this. No, okay, so we're gonna go after this one. Okay, birthday party. We'll get you an invite. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it so much. It was so good.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is everything. That's like one of my favorite quotes in there where she's like, I never thought of husband hunting as a team sport. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
And Lillian's like, well, it should be. She is
Yeah.
so forward.
I
I
know.
love it so much.
And she's like, we're gonna go with the oldest first and work our way down. Like, you've been out for the longest. Let's get to a man. Yeah.
I love the way too. Evie really sneaks up on you too in terms of like her quiet power that she has. I love it towards the end when she pulls Annabelle aside and says, you know, if you're not feeling this, like I'm noticing, like she's in the background, but she's picking up on everything and she's smart. You know, we've got Lillian who's going to bulldoze her way through things. I love when she's interacting with Marcus. What does he say? Like, who came up with this terrible idea? And she's like, I did, or something like that.
Oh yeah. And Daisy's like, me too. I have a hand in it. Oh, my favorite with Lillian is when she freaking tells Marcus, like, my favorite scene. One of my favorite. We have to go to our favorite scenes. One of my favorite scenes is when like they catch them playing rounders.
Yes.
In their garden. And Lillian's like, "What are you doing here on his property?"
Yeah.
I love how she pisses him off. Oh my
yes. Oh my god.
He's like, ma'am, I own this land. Like,
on my land.
this is my backyard. What do you mean? What am I doing here? I love it.
Oh my god.
Literally one of the best scenes in the book. Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The rounders and knickers is iconic.
It totally is. Yes.
It's
That's
so
my favorite.
Oh, I love it.
I saw a comment in here earlier too from that. I think it was Monica, but yeah, the Rounders and Knickers is like top tier baseball film.
Yes. Yeah.
So what you're telling me is the Wallflowers invented baseball.
Absolutely, right? They can do anything.
Thank you, Lisa Clements. Yes.
That's it.
Letters for everything. They really were. I was like, this friendship is so good. It's just so good.
Mm-hmm.
And the reveal on just coming, I don't know why I wasn't expecting it because he's not Marcus, it's Westcliff. So I'm not thinking it's going to be Marcus. And when Olivia opens the door and then just when she sees Gideon across the way, it's like, I have to go.
My man is here.
Yes.
Yeah, my man's here. This little glint. And they're discussing. I knew it was her when she was like, there's a bit of a scandal with where we're going. I really like her. She's marrying this American. I was like, it's them. Yes. Oh. Yes. And even the way that Simon talks about Westcliff and like how he's kind of like pretty forward thinking about accepting him and them exchanging, and being friends. I was like, I like this. What do we think of Simon Hunt?
I love him.
Simon, I love Simon, and I really like Lisa Kleypas romances with a little bit of messiness in there. Yeah. And what I mean specifically by that is like this whole dynamic of like Simon at first going after Annabelle as his mistress, and like and that whole scene where like I think they're like kissing or something, and he's just like, well, I like can't wait anymore. I need you. Like, what do you want? Right? I'll also give you, but as a mistress, right? And so obviously she gets very upset, and then that scene ends, and I'm like, I eat that shit up. I love these romances when the hero first offers her, like, the heroine to be his mistress, and then he realizes that he's fucked up, and then he's got to backpedal.
And what does he say? He's like, I wanted to be clear who you belong to. So I thought about it. About it.
That ain't gonna be enough. I need it all.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my.
Well, he wants
and when he's pulling sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
When he pulls her like to debauch her in public, like multiple places, she's just, I already said yes.
Yeah,
he's like, I want insurance. I need insurance.
Insurance. He said
Yeah.
insurance. Oh man.
And he was like king pop-up. Everywhere she was, he was there. I'm like, oh my God, Simon, you are.
He was like a man obsessed.
He was absolutely obsessed.
Like he wanted her from the beginning, and he was like, I'm just gonna bide my time while she goes and tries out these other guys she thinks it's gonna make it work with, but she'll come back and like I'm gonna get the girl in the end.
Right? Yep. I'm gonna witness you pursue Lord
Yeah,
Kendall.
you can try, but I'm the best.
And I love heroes like that who just like he knows what he wants and he wants her and he's gonna do whatever it takes to get her. And but he also doesn't have any self-doubt about being a commoner, about like, you know, being self-made. Yeah. He doesn't care about any of that. And I love that.
Right.
You know, he's living his
and
life.
that's so hard too, because it's coming from both sides. It's the people that are on his tier or whatever of society, they're having trouble understanding why he would want to be different. And then of course it's the people above him. But I love when they traveled abroad and how everyone had such respect for Simon, and Annabelle's like, wait, it's not just my world. You know, it's other places.
They listen to him when he speaks. Yes, I love that.
Yes. And I have to admit, I did not. Oh, sorry.
We'll keep going. You didn't what?
No, I was just gonna say I didn't care for him very much the first time I read it. And what stuck out to me after having read him was that he was loud and he was obnoxious and he was like really into himself. And then after reading again, like these little things, these little touches that he, you know, like tracing the slippers so he could make her get the boots made.
God, that's so good.
And then the waltz, making sure they played her favorite song because he always wanted to dance it with her. I mean, like all these little things that actually mean so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much.
The little quiet moments I love.
Yes.
And him like being so protective, like when she gets sick and she's not feeling well and all of that. And he's like, back up, I got her. And they're like, do you need help? And he's like, I got her. Like, I'm taking care of this. Like, let's get her
going
some
back and forth to the doctor. I already ordered the tea and she drank it. What next?
Yes. The protectiveness is so good. All the
he was like a doctor all of a sudden.
Yeah. The doctor was like, excuse me. And Marcus is like, why are you? I love when everybody else around them can see it. So the first instance where she realizes like, okay, my girls can see is when Lillian's like, oh, well, you're going to have to ask him not to open up his mouth about the rounders and knickers because he likes you. He'll do it if you ask. And she's like, what? What is it? Is it that obvious? And Marcus is like, obviously. You're into why are you asking about her? Obviously you are into her, sir. The way you looked at her. Not to, I mean, Marcus did look Lillian up and down, so I was like, I'm like, I noticed that, Lisa. I noticed that.
Yeah. When I think Simon tells him like her sister was right there too, Daisy, and he's like, who what? I didn't see no other girl. He's like, oh yeah, the other one was there too.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Chess game.
Oh, I love the chess.
That whole analogy too. Oh my gosh. I loved that.
And when he was really hurt when she put the chess game away.
Oh, I know. I can't keep playing this. I'm like, yes, you can. Just make one move.
I was impressed, by the way, with how much she knew about chess, because didn't she know nothing? And then she's like, I saw a piece moved and it means this and that and the other. I'm like, didn't you just learn chess?
No, and that led me to believe, how many sessions have we had off page, girl? Right. That's exactly true. I thought y'all have been playing more than I saw.
Right.
True.
It was edited out. All the
the cutting room floor scenes.
Damn.
So great. Oh my gosh. That, and he's saying, she's like, well, why is the man the most important piece on the board? And he's like, once he's taken, the game is over.
Oh yeah. I love it.
End game, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, Simon caretaking was everything, and sparring with freaking Daisy. I have to put my hand up her dress and take off the stocking because it's swollen.
Obviously, yeah.
I can take the corset off.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. He's like, you can leave the room.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Daisy.
I don't know what I would have done if he didn't leave.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't realize the Rounders was in this book?
Mm.
Oh, I'm excited if there are going to be autumnal events for Lily's book. She's next, right? 'Cause she's the next in age. I need to look at the synopsis. I was trying not to look at the synopsis.
It happened with Autumn as Lillian,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love
It's a great
Let's duck around to find out here.
Yep.
Oh my God, they were too good. And like, also, I did like how his whole plan, which he thought, he was mastermind about, where she's either, if she doesn't get, the clock is ticking. Either she gets a match or she's gonna have to become a mistress. Like, and I'm just biding my time. Him realizing that every other gentleman had the same thought. And he's getting angry as he's hearing this.
Yeah.
And like, I really liked seeing that, because he's like, wait a minute, why does it kind of sound foul when I'm hearing it from this other so-called gentleman's mouth? But this is the same thought that I have. And also seeing just what it was like for her mom, like Philippa, and what was going on there. I wasn't expecting like that kind of element to be in it, because it was a darker tone, and that kind of rumor going around, and everyone kind of just like waiting to bed her, but not really be there for her.
Yeah. Hodgem was quite the villain. And I think that's part of the reason why I had trouble rating it higher, because he was just so vile. I just really had a heart. And poor Philippa.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I kind of expected maybe, or wanted, like, there to be a bigger scene of that fallout. Like, because we don't see him get stabbed, obviously. We're just hurt. We hear about that. And then we just hear about Simon going to him and telling him to back off. But like, I definitely kind of wanted a scene where like Simon came upon Hodgem being the worst and like beating the shit out of him or something.
Yeah, we need it on page.
Yeah. My mafia romance, I was like, I want blood.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I got it. I got lots of words. I was like, this is great.
Right.
I was very happy with that. To see what the other gentleman comes to her after she's married to Simon and tries to proposition her. Like, come on. It's like the audacity of men. I really had to put myself in there.
That scene was cut out of the current version.
Oh, interesting.
Here we go.
So there's like a few pages towards the end that are cut out. One of them, it's like two little scenes. Okay. One of them is like Annabelle going to this party after she's married, and she just sees that like basically the ton, like people don't really want her around anymore because she like married down. And then that goes into the scene at this ball given by Lord Hardcastle. And that's the scene where the man propositions her, and that was cut out. That was cut out of the current version. Wow. So there you go. But I feel like those two scenes like added to the story. I'm like, why are we taking things out? Like
chapter 23.
Yeah, the very end of 23 is that party at Hardcastle's.
Yeah, just did the audio.
Yeah, I stopped the audio. I would stop the audiobook and like flip like where I had been, and like I would read what I need to read, and then I would resume the audiobook, and which is so annoying that I would have to do that. But like, you know,
But it would be a different, like, it would be easy to track if like you decide to read and listen at the same time. You can still get but it's a lot more active. Like you'd have to
tandem reading.
Tandem reading for sure.
Yeah,
the friend group was like found family. It's perfect.
Yeah,
in the best way. Yeah,
it just
I love that. Yes,
it was so good. And the declarations I am like such a declaration girl. I mean, I have favorite quotes, and one of them, I think it's like 147 for my book. But I love when Daisy says, "True friends never mind holding your hair back while you spin your trumpet."
So good.
Yeah, but the declarations were like, "The what do you want?"
Yeah,
and I thought you didn't want marriage.
yeah.
Yes, girl. And then another favorite scene of mine is when the compromising moment that they set up for freaking Lord, that they get caught. They get swept up at the moment. They're kissing. She's like, yes, finally. Okay, fine. I want you. What do you want? Like, I want you. Yes, I want you. And they're making out. And here comes Lillian, Daisy, and
Yeah.
everybody walks in. And it's like, oh my God.
Right.
And why are you in
Yeah,
this
that was
spot, not that spot? Like,
and I love that Gideon is just like, we're just gonna leave. We're just
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Monica.
That's right.
I'm like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was so good. I love scenes like that. Good
Daisy.
stuff.
Oh, I know.
And how about the wishing well?
Huh?
Yes.
Wishing well.
Oh, yes.
Disney had all the rules. She made
yeah.
for her.
Mm-hmm.
I love the wishing well. Well, nope. I love how Lillian was just like stark with the answer. Like, can I make another wish? No.
Nope. It's only one.
No. You cannot. Unless you want to be pulled in or
Yeah.
You're gonna anger the well spirit or something like
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she accidentally wishes for love.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Now we don't see the well in Again the Magic, right? That's a new setting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Unless
think we
Isn't
don't
that,
see them like actively do anything with it, I don't think.
No, that's where isn't that where Olivia's standing with her wine when Gideon first sees her? She's by the well.
Yeah, but they don't like make a wish or anything.
No. Oh yeah, it was a fountain.
Okay.
It was a fountain, yeah. Because he's
That would be
her. I'm
cool,
like,
though.
oh, she's a
That
fairy
would be
woman.
cool.
You know that works for me. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, when they were walking down when they're walking down the path to the well, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is where McKenna and Aileen walked, you know?
I know. They're so good.
I just
Oh my
love
God,
the same
so
setting, like coming back again and again. It's just so fun.
And it makes me sad that, McKenna and Aileen, they just go off to the US, at the end of their book. And so, like, they're not, like, involved because they're away. And I'm like, wait, bring them back. Like,
I know.
Bring them back.
Don't they got
Yes.
business?
Like,
Want to come have a vacation back at home or something, you know?
I know.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. They're just over there thriving.
Yeah, I mean, I know it took them forever to get on that dang boat, but I'm like,
right.
girl.
Like, after all this work that went into the two of them getting together, like, we deserve some cameos. Like,
Right.
Yes.
damn.
So
I
freaking
know.
sweet.
So
And then I thought it was interesting that it took her so long for her to like believe that he loved her, because even when so he agrees to marry her, and then the conversation that he has with her mother, I could just imagine her standing there and watching this, and it's very business, and Philip was like, you know, she doesn't have a dowry, and he's talking about, oh well, that was just so hot. I was like, run it up. He's like, you will want for nothing. I'll give you money right now, $5,000. I'm like, oh, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I am just as bad as Philippa right now. Yeah, she caught me off guard because I was like, I am just as bad as Philippa, because at the end of that, what Annabelle sees is, I don't think my mother even asked if he loves me. And I don't think he told me that either. And I'm like, okay, let me put the checkbook down and attend to my phone. Yeah, because I was like, but it was just, I was just like, and like Philip is just like weeping, like, thank God, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God, thank
So
God.
have somebody to take care of her.
Yeah.
And it's very like the nuts and bolts and the practicalities of him being working class, but having the means. And I thought it was interesting that that's what his parents felt like as well when it came to her, because she overhears them arguing. He's like, she's not with you because she loves you. She's with you because of your money. And like, we're not with that aristocratic matching.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, I always love a moment where the hero is like, basically, don't talk about my wife like that. Like, even to his mom, he was like, that's my wife. Like, damn.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I'm just like, yes. Same thing with Westcliff. Like, he kept, like, Marcus kept being like, I told you about this. I told you about this. The apology that she gets from him.
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved that apology. Like, I'm sorry, you know. I saw it.
I think that really like shook Westcliff to his core, like even more than he like showed Annabelle or told Annabelle, because like I think that like this goes into probably, you know, Westcliff's views of women in general, which we'll get into when we get to him, but like yeah, he really thought kind of the worst of her like the whole time. And then to see like somebody commented the factory scene was everything. I forgot how like freaking terrifying that scene is. Oh my god.
Yes.
Jeez. That's like one of the craziest scenes from Lisa Kleypas. Like
Lisa Kleypas loves a fire scene.
Yes,
she loves to set things on fire.
She does. And this one like takes a take, in my opinion. Like, damn, that was crazy.
It was. And it happened a lot too. So I was like, look at you whittling into history, girl. But I'm like, it took that, Marcus. She had to almost die in a fire for you to be like, okay, you love the man. Come on.
Right? I mean, he's a good friend though to Simon. Like he was very protective, you know.
I like that too. I did like that.
He's like, you better risk your life for the man before I put my stamp of approval on you.
Exactly.
Damn. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And he was right there. So I agree. We love a Stan. And
that's why I was kind of confused when I was first trying to get my mind around the series. I was like, is this the Marcus series? Because, you know, and again, the magic, it's like Marcus will take you to the boat or to the ship. Yeah. And now Marcus will save the hero. It's like Marcus is always just getting in there at the end. Marcus book again. Here's Marcus again doing big things. Right?
True.
And you'll see it in the next book. But of course, that's his book. But still, it's like, Marcus to the rescue again. You know, like he's just always there.
I love it.
So, thank God he was there. Jesus.
Yeah.
Lord, that scene is like terrifying. And, and then Simon just being like so angry that she came back and put herself in harm's way. Yes. To try to save him. I was like getting caught up. Like, whoa, like, that like, man, that scene was intense.
Yes, and that quick-witted, where's your knife? I was like, okay, girl. Okay, girl.
Think of something. Yeah.
It was a team freaking effort. He is a great character. Yes. I understood the views of Annabelle, but was willing to change. Yes, willing to change. I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. And then also on their wedding night, okay, Simon learning, him just assuming that she's not a virgin, that took me out. I'm like, when are you gonna? Finally, she said something. I was like, when are you gonna correct this? You know,
right?
Yeah.
And I love how he's takes a step back and he like asks her like, how much do you know about what's about to happen?
Yeah.
You know, and my mom says it's not gonna last very long.
He's like, okay. Or that, you're not going to enjoy it or have any fun. And he's like, okay, we'll see about that. Okay.
What was Lillian like? I don't want to spend all day doing that.
Yes. I love it.
Oh my god. I love that scene too, because like that is so like that is what girls do, man.
Yeah,
and like
so cute,
a tight knit group of best friends. Like we're gonna break down what happened.
Well, right. How's she faring as a husband? That's the first thing she says. And I want her to eat her words. I want her to eat her words.
Yes.
You said all day.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, they were intense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
And
was
declarations of love too. I was just like, because even though they're committed and they're married, it was like she was still questioning. And
Yeah.
I
And
was
really,
like,
they both were, because I don't think Simon really knew that she loved him either necessarily. And
Yeah, to the lengths of
Mhm.
it.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, great declarations of
Agreed.
love. I mean, Lisa Kleypas usually does that so well, but there's a few books that like float around in my mind of like the best love declarations, and like this is up there. Like
that's good.
there were some like really great monologues going on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I love that he was quick to change after like the gauntlet of the country like party. He was quick to even just change and be like, no, I'm willing to marry you. Like, let's do this. That's it.
Mhm.
So good. Yeah, I did everything that she had to endure. And I love how they didn't shy away just from the finances that it would take. Like the fact that they were not well off. And
Yeah.
all of like the little things, like I'm not some simpering young miss that doesn't know how to like dress for a walk. I can't like
Yes.
my ankle boots are
Like these are my only shoes.
these are
Yeah.
my only shoes. And I like how he kind of respected that and just left it there.
Yeah.
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 That
Mhm.
gift.
Oh,
God.
so good.
So good.
Talk about yes.
Yep. Keep it real.
It's so good. Those ankle boots were everything. I'm like, oh.
Yes.
And then he doesn't even want to take like, I didn't get you ankle boots. What was
Yeah, he
that?
doesn't want the credit.
I think it's her pride.
Yeah.
Like that is a very like big thing in Lisa Kleypas books. Now that I've like come to think about it, like pride it ends up being a really big thing, and again the magic too. Aline like has a big problem with being vulnerable and you know with her secrets and stuff, and then like with this book too, Annabelle has some pride, you know, even just like her like why wouldn't she admit to Simon that like she wasn't with Hajim? Why like you know I feel like that was a pride thing. I don't know, like she like didn't want to be vulnerable to him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think she was just offended that he even assumed that.
Yeah.
So she's like elaborating on it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but you already think the worst of me, so like fuck you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And maybe this will shoo you away, you know?
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
I love the way that he says, like, oh, someone, if they were going to do that, they might get your slippers, take it, or something like that. The way he did it, she said, like, there was a little bit of mischief glinting in his eye or something like that. I just loved that. I thought it was
so intense. Oh, am I bumping the rating up?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, she didn't want anybody to even
know everything about her mom's situation.
It was her mother that had to do with Hajim and
And how about that she didn't want her brother to know either.
Yeah.
True.
And so like I forgot that you wouldn't know this from the prologue either. So I think that if you didn't have the prologue, it would seem a little weird that her brother's coming back from school and you wouldn't get that there's a 10-year age difference between them. You wouldn't know that like their siblings died, like siblings after her died from illness. And so when he comes back and Simon is like king brother-in-law, you know what I mean? And he's just like the cool brother-in-law that's like showing him a good time. He does sound I like how he feels like his age on the page when he comes back home after and he first meets him and like he's taking him out riding and all that. He's having such a great time with him.
Oh yeah, when they're on the Phaeton and he comes back and he's like, "You almost died" or something like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was like it's moment of my life.
It's so great.
Such a guy thing.
It's a guy thing, not him grilling him. He's just like,
yeah. I thought that was so cute. But I think Simon knew Jeremy before he even knew Annabelle, right? They would talk in the butcher shop. Yep. And Simon was always so kind to Jeremy. I loved Jeremy. I loved his character.
Yeah.
Me
too.
So I know he wanted to leave school so he can get a job. And she's like, what kind of job are you going to get without an education? You have to keep going. And it was like, how are they paying for that? So much.
And I love
Oh my
how
God.
Simon sort of stepped in as a father figure too, like after that episode with the stabbing and the way that he ruffled Jeremy's hair and just totally like he just set Jeremy's mind at ease. That's one of my favorite scenes in the whole book is the way that Simon handles Jeremy. Just it shows what a great man Simon is, you know, that he was stepping in. I just loved it. Loved it.
He's like, I'm gonna go take care of it. I'm going over that.
Yeah.
I love how she is like, I can do better. And she means that be a mistress, and he thinks means that,
oh, yeah.
So true.
I wondered what her mom did to keep him away from Annabelle as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the darkest part of the book, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
That's why I was like, we're cutting the prologue? Come on.
But we're keeping
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
And I kept wondering, is it because placing what Simon, like him stealing a kiss in the prologue, having the hero be seen in any sort of light to like the big bad in this book? I'm not quite sure. Like if we don't, because Lillian mentions wanting a man that would never steal a kiss from her without consent, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, okay.
And then like, so I was like, well, maybe powers that be didn't want any allusions to the like on-page assault and like, you know, off-page implications of it. I don't know. Like just eclipsing a little bit too much, too close to Homburg or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I still think cutting the whole prologue just does a disservice.
Come on.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, it comes off as lazy too. They're like, all right, let's just cut the whole thing then. I'm like,
I know. We're not gonna skim through it and see. Yeah, we'll just remove the whole thing.
You're like, what? What are we doing?
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially since we meet his family later. Like,
yeah,
all that out. And the fact that he knew Jeremy.
Right.
All of that context is just kind of, it's such a well done prologue. It really
is. Yeah.
It's such
I think about that like prologue scene a lot. Like whenever I think about her books, and that one always sticks out. So it's so sad that they got rid of it.
It's so visual too. It's so set in like the modernity of the time. Also, I also like the factory tour and stuff like that because I was like, this is so. It's like it's not like, you know, they're on the cusp of modernity. It's like really exciting, and the fact that he was able to think ahead about the railroads. It's like it's kind of masterful. Like it's very. I like how it's so steeped in the time, and
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we almost died. I know.
I love it.
And him just being like the blood. I love that. But I'm like, this is what I needed because I feel like he's gonna get off. I'm like, he's getting off scot-free.
Yeah,
he's getting off scot-free. Who's he gonna do this to next? And like, oh my gosh, the way that he describes like the horror of like, our mom just stabbed someone. I'm like, wait, what?
Right. Oh my god.
I mean, there are parts of this book that are unhinged, like the stabbing, and then also she gets bitten by a snake and doesn't realize it. Like if I got bitten by a snake, I would know.
Crazy that
how did she not notice?
She didn't feel it at the time. Like
I don't understand.
What?
Yeah. They're just between the snake, the stabbing, and the crazy factory scene. I mean, this is like one of the most exciting books.
Yeah,
I know. Damn.
I know, because I was like, is he describing a mosquito? I'm like, I had to keep reading it because I'm like, that.
Right.
Oh my god, snake bite. I'm like, that's serious. Is she still walking on it?
Yeah, I know. Like, that is not the same as turning your ankle. I also really liked how Philippa really grew. I mean, of course, we all felt an incredible amount of sympathy for her with what she was going through. But then I was surprised with how she initially behaved when she met Simon's family. I was a little disappointed. But again, it's like how she grew up, and Jeremy was quick to account, like say, hey, you felt this way too, Annabelle. Yes. But, you know, it was like they didn't remember. And then at the dinner, they didn't have anything in common. And then by the epilogue, what did they said there? They finish each other's sentences. They're two halves of the same person. They're best friends. I just loved that for both of them, especially Philippa to have like a best friend now. I loved that.
Yeah.
I love when in-laws become best friends, like just in life, or like that is my favorite. I love that.
Yes.
I love how like their whole like trip got hijacked. Like, no, we're gonna. I think that was a good thing. Let's get her far away from London. And I was like, they had a great time.
Yes, they did.
I think they couldn't get Hajim because he was part of the peerage and Simon was not. Great point. And I also think that that's fitting. Let's just call it how it would have been. So he did the best he could with that situation. Yes.
Because I know like there's definitely been some historical romances that I've read where like the hero ends up like maybe in self-defense or whatever, like killing the villain. But because he's part of the peerage, he's able to get it swept under the rug, basically, whether that be through money or just influence or whatever. But like, because Simon doesn't have that kind of influence, that's absolutely true that like he might like get hung for taking care of Hajim in that way. So he just had to threaten him.
I feel like Marcus could have helped him bury a body, just saying. Yeah. Marcus would help him. I mean, Stony Cross Park is a big spot, okay?
A lot of
he just disappeared.
That's true.
I would have loved
Marcus
that.
Was
There's already
right
a lot in the book. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
He's just gardening. What are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I would love that too.
Yes. The gothic version.
Yeah.
Bad. Yes.
Yes. So true. I was reading another book and now I can't remember. I know you guys probably have the same problem. If you read multiple books at the same time, especially if I'm reading more like in the same like subgenre of romance. Like I was reading 3 historicals at the same time. I was reading Secrets of a Summer Night, Hot Earl Summer, and An Offer from a Gentleman. And somewhere in there was another kiss, like a stolen kiss that was almost identical. And it was in the book. And I was like, see? Keep it.
Right.
It happens in historical romance all the time.
Right.
And I love the like mic drop moment of the mirage of like he just disappears. Like she's comes back to the moment and he's gone.
Yes.
I loved that too. Yeah.
I'm like, just like
cool.
I'm like, I geeked out on it because I was like, this is very similar to what's going on in the production and the lighting. But I was like, let me stop. But I was like, this is so good.
And also like with that scene too, I feel like what's important about that prologue,
drop him in the well.
Yes.
As long as it doesn't mess with their wishes, okay?
Oh, shit.
Offering. Boom.
True.
An offering to the spirit.
What we don't want.
That is so good.
Lord.
Never find him.
Yeah. He's still out there strolling. What were you saying, Rachel?
I was just gonna say like that prologue too has like a magic to it.
Yes.
That also makes me think of again the magic, because there are scenes in that book that like just feel so magical to me. Like that title is so accurate because of that. And so like again, it's like, damn, like that is just doing the book a disservice, taking it out, because like that scene really does have a magic to it. It has like, and what we've already talked about of like the wonder of the panorama and like all of that. Like it's so vivid in my mind. It's just such a great scene. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, so true.
She captures it so perfectly.
So then people who gave it 4 stars, what was like holding you back from giving it 5 stars? I'm curious.
Ooh, let's get to it.
I need to know.
Well, Tiff's right here. Tiffany gave it 4 stars too. She can tell us.
For me, I was falling so in love with all of like with the found family friendship. Somebody mentioned that. So the friendships really leapt off for me. And there was a moment there where I kept questioning, I wanted more, I think, from Hunt, where I came from, again, the magic, and I was getting a lot from where McKenna was feeling. And so I felt like I don't know much about Hunt. I don't know much about. I wasn't privy to like the shifts from like third person, but his perspective of her, it really feels like Annabelle's perspective. And so for me, I kept questioning, is it just that he wants to bed her? Would he still feel this way without her beauty? Does that just go in hand in tandem? And I kept questioning like whether or not it was truly that he cared for her, or if it was her beauty, or if he just wanted to bed her. And I ultimately think it was more than that, because he paid such close attention to her. He knew that she wasn't going to be happy with his marriage that she was pursuing. He knew of her independence and that she was just going to run circles around this guy. He liked the banter between them and her ire. He paid so close attention to her. And so it took me a while to like get to that part. There was like the middle part, like the second act of the book, where I kept questioning, and I don't think I was let into that inner window of how he was feeling, even in third person, as I was, and again, the magic, to where what shined for me were the big overtures, the chess game, the acts of care. But what was shining for me was the friendship. Like this felt like Wallflowers. And I was just like elated in that. And then thinking like, but I have to be looking at this as a romance as well. And I just wanted to be privy to a little bit more. And then I started to get that like with his family and everything like that. And his conversations with Marcus, I loved those, like them going back and forth. So, and I guess he was just fighting it the whole time. But a lot of what I did get in third person that described him was how he couldn't wait to sprawl her on the grass or, you know what I mean? Things of that nature.
True. Yeah.
So I was like, I need a little bit more. And it was slowly coming, and it did come towards the third act for me. So
I think that Simon had to go on that journey himself of like really falling for her, for all the book. It's just that he's obsessed with her. But I definitely think that it definitely needed time. He's the type of man that is so self-reliant. He, self-made men had to be. And so I feel like men like that, like it totally makes sense to me that he's just all business and is like, all right, then, okay, you want a house, you want a yacht? Like, what is it going to take for me to just have you? Like, right? He's not like, he's not thinking like love. What is that? Like, what, so, but I get what you're saying for sure.
But I knew as soon as he was willing to change it up, I was like, oh, he just doesn't get it. Yeah. You're willing to marry her now. It's done. It's done. It was done from the beginning. And so I really feel like, he's just fooling himself. And so like it took me a minute, because I was going back and I'm like, okay, I'm sold by the third act. So that's why I was like, there were moments where like just them as a friend group kind of like outshone some of the some of the quieter moments between them, were for some reason in the prologue, those quiet moments screamed. I mean, just like natural chemistry between them. I loved that, like that ease. And so that's why I gave 4 stars, because Hugman wasn't killed. And I also wanted a triple discussion between
Fair.
I loved how I got enough from him by his actions. He was unsure of her thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, I think for me, where the tide turns for me with Hunt, I enjoyed his character the whole book, but obviously like the tide turned for me with the Adderbite and just like how like the caretaking, and like I love that shit. So like that's when I was like, oh, all right, like he pretty much already loves her at this point, let's be real. And like I love it.
The caretaking, same for me. And like I feel like he did because like he wanted her so much, and I feel like he was holding back more because he's like, she doesn't want me, and so I will only give her this role as like a mistress or whatever because she doesn't want like me as end game, so I always saw him as holding back because of her thoughts and like not knowing where she stood, but that he was always into her from the beginning.
But as we were going through, as I said, I was like, I might need to bump it up. Because he's just I like a man too, a hero that's unapologetically themselves. Like it's another derivative. I may not be good enough, but I don't care. So I know what you're looking for, but I got it. You want money? I love when he's like, I have money. How much do you need?
I love the part when he's like, I can
Yes!
spoil you, I can take care of you. Like, no other man is going to be able to afford
Yeah.
your lifestyle that, like, I can just give you money and, like,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, Philippa, do you understand this? He's like, I got it. Pin money,
Yep.
I got it. You
Yep.
want, I got it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I did love that. Often after the character is married, the book gets boring. This one was action packed. Yes, yes, yes. I loved seeing, I think I put a note like married life and the book continued. I was like, oh, I love this. And I love that all the wallflowers were there. You know, I was like, this is so good. I'm like, this is so good.
It's like what I miss with historical romances, like the romance, the kind of like adventure, high stakes, and like all this like tension and angst. I miss this with like newer ones coming out.
Yeah, that is so real. And I definitely, something that I kept thinking about reading this book again, I was like, this really is a great series to read for those people who have like only watched Bridgerton, but they're interested in historical romance. I'm like, I gotta pick this up. Let's go.
Yes,
seriously.
True.
Seriously.
Yeah. Hunt has his small circle of friends, and that's all he needed. Yes, I love that he didn't care what. Yes, I love that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that was like the crux of it. He like, when he's sitting there and she's ill upstairs and Marcus like drags him from the freaking door. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Let's go. I love how he realizes like he's never going to get, because I don't even get how I can't stop thinking about her. And I was like, okay. Oh yeah. Okay, maybe
we totally have heroes who are the opposite way, which I love those guys too, who think they aren't worthy of the heroine and like I'm not good enough for her. So we have that version of like a self-made man as well. But like Hunt was like, no, she's mine. Like I'm the best for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's like, I'm tired of waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've just been. She's like, so you've just been waiting. You're no better than Homburg. I'm like, girl, stop it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's just so good.
Oh, freak. Okay. Yeah. I'll bump it up. I'm like arguing against myself as I'm like bringing up things. I'm like, but that was my initial response. I was like 4 stars because I was like, I walked away I think I was just so like, I'm going to use besotted, a romance word. I was just their friendship. Like, I'm just like, oh, I got to meet them and it was everything I was hoping it was going to be. And then even the way that it feeds into the next book in the epilogue with the well and the wish.
Yes.
And I love how Lillian is so bold and like forward and also like, what are you guys talking about? What did you wish for? You didn't tell me what you wish for. Like,
yeah.
What's so funny? Like,
yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't know who the hero is. So I was like, is he tall, dark? Oh, and the verbal spur that she has with Marcus, though, I'm like, girl, please. Like he like there's when he doesn't even know, he's like incensed when he's around her. He doesn't even know how to like entertain it. And I'm like, I love that. Yeah. I'm convinced because I'm like, this is
especially coming off of Again the Magic, like it's hard not to compare them to each other too, because it has a different vibe.
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean, you can still keep it at 4 stars, but it's fine.
I mean, it's
Christy will allow it.
Yeah.
But it didn't have a country party. It had like the angst.
Yes.
It had the declarations. It had the acts of care. It had the dance between them. It had that pay up. I mean, he was willing to talk with the actions. And I'm like, this is what we want. Come on. And then like, that third act was like, I got my blood. I got my peril.
You sure did.
Yeah.
You sure did. Yeah.
It's got it all.
It was, it really does. It really does have it all. It kind of reminds me of like Colin and Minerva, like that, like road trip Tessadair.
Yes.
Had everything. And it's like, what else do you want her to shove into this book? So yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Everything is in there. Like, come on.
Right.
Italian brothers
Oh my
in the right way. Oh
Well, and I'm just so glad
This is
that
the
we're
right way,
doing this read along because I honestly don't know like when I would have picked up this series again. Like I know that I would have reread Again the Magic at some point because that's one of my like top 5 favorite historicals. But like I don't know when I would have picked this up. And in my mind, this was a 3-star book. And so then rereading it, I was like, oh,
yay!
yeah.
I'm so glad.
I got by this book.
Like at least 4.5. I'm like, this isn't 4 because I don't have that many issues with it.
Yeah. Well, and honestly,
I had to talk through it.
For me, it's not as high is because some of the other books in the series are just so
It's true.
next level. It's hard for this. That's the thing. As you go through, Tiffany, you're going to see it's hard for this one, as good as it is, to stand out against the others.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good. They're so good. Like this is good.
I'm so excited for what's to come.
Oh my god!
For like Tiffany, for people in the chat who, because I know Cheryl's reading it for the first time too. Like I'm so excited.
Yes, it just gets better and better. It just gets better and better.
This still does like stay one of my favorites though in the series. I will say I just love how strong Annabelle is so much, and like can see her strength. And I know a lot of people are hard on heroines, but like I understand her, and like I just love this book so much
because we read the prologue.
That too.
Yeah.
Just saying,
absolutely. Yeah, I can definitely see Annabelle like being like some readers like one of their like least favorite Lisa Kleypas heroines.
Yeah.
But I just like her.
She has so much on her shoulders, and like with her family situation and her mother, like she has reasons for acting and trying to just take charge and do what she does, you know?
Yeah. Because time is running out. And I love how Lisa Kleypas doesn't shy away from it's either the working house or the body house or poverty. That's it.
Yeah.
So, she doesn't have to, she had to put up the chess game. Jeez. Oh, Devil in Winter is favorite. This is earlier.
So good.
I think when I first read the series, It Happened One Autumn was my favorite. Like if we take out Again the Magic, if we just
the main
books, I think It Happened One Autumn was my favorite. So I'm very interested to see.
I do love that one too.
It's so good.
But Devil in Winter, iconic, like one of my favorite historicals of all time. I'm so excited to get there. And people who read that book without reading this book first, like going to Devil in Winter, you have to do these in order. Like,
I'm so excited. All time, Christy?
Yes, all time.
Okay.
Oh my God. Say less. Like the hero in that one, I could talk about him forever.
I know.
But I'm gonna try not to right now.
It's Evie. Oh, Evie wanted to fall in love. Oh my God. See, I'm doing the mind map. I'm like, I'm looking at what they said they wanted, and I want to see.
Well,
and
Tiffany
Lily better be on her back for a day. I want her to eat her words.
Tiffany, have you read any of the Ravenel's books?
Some of them, like out of order, and it's
okay. Because I was just about to say, like, if you have, then you've already seen the hero from Devil in Winter just being a daddy, and I love him. And
I love him so much.
I read Devil in Disguise though, and like haven't read. So I'm like, I'd have to go back. I'm not gonna read it.
Don't go back yet. Don't go back yet.
If people are just reading this series for the first, or any Lisa Kleypas for the first time, do Wallflowers, then do the Hathaways, and then do the Rabbits. Like in order. In order. Like, don't talk to me. Don't do it in order. Like after this conversation.
Two in this series, and I just love this one. Yes. So that's the book that we're talking about, Secrets of the Summer Night. And
yes, we were reading. Yeah, we were talking about this book.
Because I finished, like, I was like, it is more than 4 stars. I'll take this
beautiful moment.
Their beautiful moment.
So good.
Oh my God.
That's so pretty.
I always picture Annabelle as a blonde, though. And I think it's actually because of Rachel's cover. Isn't she blonde?
Oh.
She is blonde in the book. They describe her as having blonde.
Yeah. I know. I think that was talked about, actually, because, like,
yeah.
It's just the way the sun is hitting her hair, okay? She's a chameleon.
Oh my God.
The snake bite affected more than her leg. Okay, changed her hair color.
Oh, I
Oh my
love
god,
the
it's so
gaming hell.
good. Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about
Oh
that book.
yes.
Quiet and
wait.
Reserve Evie. Oh, and then the Easter egg there too. I was tracking it. I was like, okay, so Evie, I was like, her father's ill. She got caught sneaking out. And I was like, and now she's on like restriction indefinitely. So I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
is
because
this
we get some of Evie's story in here, like
Yes.
her kind of her
Yeah.
family being very controlling of her and
Yeah.
keeping her away.
Oh, yeah.
So I was tracking all of that, and I was like, "Oh, this is really interesting." And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Who's Aunt Patricia or whatever? Who's holding her?" I was like, "Why does
Yeah.
she have to stay over where Evie's going, and why can't she go see her father, who's
Right.
getting worse in health?" And I'm like, "And the family is keeping her." So I was like, "Oh, this is tea. I need to like
Yeah.
keep
It's
this
tea.
note here
It is tea. Yep.
because Annabelle's like, I want to see Evie, and they were like, you can't."
Yeah. Yep. It
Yeah.
sets it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on there?
Mhm.
Okay. Gaming hell. I love gaming hells. And historicals, it's my favorite. Like bathtub scenes, gaming hells, country club parties, like
Ugh. So
I'm
just
excited to
wait.
read
Oh, I'm
Wizard-
so excited.
I
Because it's the
know.
last time I read it. Oh, we guys,
can't
audiobook.
wait.
Oh, yeah. So if we know of any changes and it
Mhm.
happens,
Has anybody done like a guide at this point of like what was taken out of the original?
There's some people have a spreadsheet of some of Lisa Kleypas's revisions.
Ooh.
And they have things that are missing and all that. But it wasn't, they started because it was like in 2021, 2022 when she first started changing these. And so it was for, I think, the Bow Street Runners. I'd have to look it up. And they've done, I know these two books for sure. They mentioned the changes in these, like what was missing. I'll have to pull it up. It's a whole like spreadsheet of her.
Yeah,
Devil
because
in Autumn,
I definitely need to know. Like, I know of one scene in particular they took out of it. It happened one autumn, which is dumb. But I
Yeah.
want to know what else they took out because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be paying attention to that because I have the originals of all these
Mhm.
tracks are all original versions. So yeah, I definitely want to know.
Yeah, there's like a whole spreadsheet that I have that has all of her books
Ooh,
over here and then like revisions. So it hasn't been updated, I don't think, since 2022-ish when she first started doing them. So it's not all of them now, but it is something that somebody created at one point and has it
okay,
up.
Nice.
that's helpful. That's really
Mhm.
helpful.
I wish I was on top of it because I'm like, I was like, should I be doing that as I'm going? I'm like, I could do it. We should add to that.
There's one, I'll tell you this. I can always like message you guys about the chapters, the
Mhm.
big chapter that I know of. I can't think
Yeah.
about
They took a complete chapter out, huh?
They did. Yeah, they did.
it.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
happened one autumn.
Big change.
Yeah, it
Big,
happened in autumn. Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's a
Let's see.
big deal, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember people like talking about that specific chapter when we all started the conversation about them editing the books. So
Yeah.
like I
What
didn't-
chapter is that?
I'll have to look it up.
I would have to, yeah.
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 Ugh,
I need that
so good.
spreadsheet. I'm like,
Yeah, I'll have to send it.
yeah, that. But
And I'll have to see if people have created a new one because I'm in like a lot of historical romance like Facebook groups that they like really deep dive and do like older school, I should say, historical romance. People who've been around for a while, like they kind of create these spreadsheets
Right.
and keep track of stuff. I'll have to see if there's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
okay, so Marcus is just cruising through all these series.
Yeah, because I think Hathaway's estate is nearby Marcus's.
They're next door to Stony Cross Park.
Yes.
The Hathaways.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They're neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having so much fun.
That's why we have to continue.
So what we're saying is we now need to plan a Hathaway's read along and a Ravenel's read along. Is that what?
It's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so down.
Yes.
I'm so down.
I'm
We're
so down
there.
for it.
We're doing it. It's happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's yeah.
I'm so here.
so
I'm so
down.
here for it. Yep.
I'm so excited.
Especially after like having the conversations with all of these characters and then continuing on, it's gonna be so good.
So
And
good.
I'm gonna start my little mind map. I will add it
Yes.
in here.
Yes.
I will
Yes.
add it in here. This is we have to. Oh, I'm so
We
excited. I'm
We
so
have to.
excited.
Yes.
Tiffany,
favorite.
what? Have you read the Hathaway series? Like what?
Mm-mm.
Oh, not at all.
Oh, they're so
wow.
good. Oh no, we have to like done
Uh-uh.
deal.
We
Like
do. Yes, we do.
I love them
No.
so much.
so
Oh my
much.
God.
That's my
Oh.
favorite family. That is my
Yes.
favorite family.
I know Tiffany will like love their family dynamic and some of those books in specific. I'm like thinking of certain books and
Oh my
scenes.
god!
Yes.
We have
Yes.
to.
We're doing it.
It's good stuff. It
We
is.
have
Yeah.
to.
I'm so excited. Yes.
But I like
know.
how
And everybody in the chat is down for it too.
Yes.
We have a separate live show dissecting the spreadsheet.
I know.
So fun.
The deepest dive ever.
I know.
You just have to come to the table with it, and we can just talk about
It's
it.
related to Dreaming of You.
Yes. Have you read those ones?
Yeah.
With Derek Craven?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I love Then Came You. I want to reread that soon.
Oh, that one's so good too. But Evie's father is talked about in Dreaming of You.
That's true.
Okay. I need to go back and reread that.
I do too.
That's my second most bought book in my library.
That's
I bought that book
such a good one.
like 5 times.
Gosh.
Yes, to wrap it up. Yes.
We have to keep it going.
Oh
You
my
do.
god. Oh
Yes.
my god.
So good.
Yes.
Yes. Oh
Me
my God.
either. Okay, I'm so excited to do it with friends. It's like
Oh my
it's
God.
So much more fun when you can
And
talk
to be able
about
to discuss them,
Yes.
like so good.
Doing that with Tessa Dare was like freaking peak highlight. Peak.
I
It just
know.
brings another level to the books.
Oh my gosh, so much fun.
We
We're in
have
for
to.
so much fun.
So
I
Yes.
love Leo so much.
Yes, I love Leo.
I cannot wait.
I'm so
cannot wait.
excited.
Oh,
I can't
yes.
I love
wait. We never read
Readalong.
them either. We'll be doing it together, Cheryl. Oh, yay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to continue this journey for Cheryl and Tiffany just to read them all.
We
Exactly.
do.
We're forcing them upon your TBR. Like it's happening.
Right. You have no choice.
Exactly. They're no longer unread. They are going to be added to those Goodreads, okay?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And we do have
Yes.
the next one is going to be It Happened One Autumn, and it's going to be on the 15th, same time on the 15th. I love it. I love the Sundays. I am going to be, I just
love
got
Sundays.
the internet package I'm going to be on a cruise. So
Oh.
I will be tuning in, hopefully in the comments. I'm going to try to, but the cruise package, I'm doing Virgin Voyages for the first time. So I hear the premium Wi-Fi is great. So I'm going to be doing that. So I'll be in Turks and Caicos. But I'm going to try to still join because it's autumn. It's my season.
I love it.
And I caught the context clues in the chat. Now I know the hero is Marcus. That makes sense. Someone talked about their banter, and I was like, okay, yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Which they're so beautiful.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Love
Yeah.
it.
With
Love
her
it.
little foot kicked up too. Like
Ooh,
so
sassy
good.
foot, just like her. I love it.
Yes.
Perfect.
So excited.
Are they at Stony Cross again?
Yes.
I mean, where else could they be?
I know. I love to go back to Stony Cross. I love
On his property? You know how he's talking about this is my house?
She's like, sir, what are you doing here again?
I know, right? So he's just hosting all the HEAs.
Mhm.
Right.
He's just
I mean-
facilitating it
All
all.
about Marcus. It's the Marcus series.
Yeah. The Marcus effect.
The Marcus effect.
Is Daisy there too?
We'll have
Yeah.
to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait and see. We're waiting and seeing.
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. We just don't know. Thank you.
Yeah.
We gotta leave it.
Yeah, because Evie's gonna need someone that's like, I know she wants to fall in love. I want him to be.
Evie.
I'm thinking like, I need
Rachel.
him to be like, walking.
We're like not saying anything. We're just like,
wheeling, dealing. I need him to be like, I'm thinking of why is Dorian? I like Dorian Black from Kerrigan Byrne. Like I need him to be a rebel.
Wait, for which heroine? Which
she said Evie.
Evie. I need him.
I mean,
I need her counterpart to be. I want him to be. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, let's get the devil in winter.
I want him to like tote that. I want him to be like handling business.
Oh,
Okay.
I think Tiffany's gonna be happy.
I think we'll have to see the direction it goes for Miss Evie.
Yeah.
Like, I need him to be able to come with the coin to fix all the problems. I need to be like, I'm cold. You're too innocent for me, but I'm drawn. Like, you're too sweet for me. I go to bed at 3. Take away what you need. Like, I need that kind of hero.
Cold, like Devil in Winter cold? Are we?
Yeah.
A devil?
Toting that thing. Okay, I can't wait.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, we could go, but we're not gonna.
What is this foolishness? Locked up? Get her from the ivory tower. And Evie in a gambling hell. I cannot wait. This is gonna be interesting.
Also, I love that little scene, the scene before they play rounders, where they're just like having a picnic, and then she's just like talking to a squirrel, and they're like, you stutter.
So
yeah. They're like when you talk to us and when you talk to animals and what children, I think she said too.
Yes.
Yeah.
She needs
to love Evie.
That's right.
I'm so excited.
So much fun in store.
I want him to tote that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we know what you're saying, and Lisa Kleypas knows what you're saying.
Oh, she does.
Yeah. Office, like he is the man.
Yes.
I'm thinking like Gilded Age, but like but for the time, like I
want. Yeah. I mean,
true. Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be very happy.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm like rattling off what I want. That's what Evie needs.
Yeah. That's so good. So good.
Oh my god, that's why Marcus is a favorite character of the Wallflowers. He's in every book, saves everyone from one situation.
I love Marcus. I
gotta start tracking Marcus lore.
Also,
yeah, you do.
Let's talk about how much I love Marcus simply because of the role that he played in Again the Magic, like that talk that he had with Aline, towards the end about like her scars and about all of that, and like he's the reason that she goes after McKenna.
Yeah.
Yes.
Solving everybody's problems.
His relationship with his sisters in that book, so good.
Yes.
After their parents were like the worst.
Yes.
Oh, the worst.
Yeah.
I was so happy that he inherited that title. I was like, they just so lucky. Oh wow. See, yeah.
I love her.
I really like her.
I always love characters that have like a quiet strength.
Yeah.
Same.
Like,
yeah.
I think it's harder to do. And
yes.
Oh, for sure.
Things. I learned so much from those heroines. It's so much harder to do, and I appreciate it. Like, so they need the right counterpart. So I'm very excited for the rest of the series, and we'll see who Daisy ends up with. Her spectacle wearing poetry. We'll see if that. I mean, I think that's what Daisy thinks that she wants, but she would run all the way. He needs to be that behind the veil. She would run right through a man like that. Like she needs to be tricked.
Yeah.
She needs to be like, and then actually like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because of her sister. Like, I think she needs somebody that's kind of like headstrong and like bullheaded like her sister, but in man form, which she's gonna hate. And then behind that, it needs to be ooey gooey and all the things that she needs to learn that about him later, because Daisy is too much. I can't wait. I love that we're going through age. It happened when I cannot wait. I'm so down for the Hathaways and the Readalongs as well. I'm just saying, this is the best way to like read with friends. I will be tracking everything, trying to get the changes. I'm going to be getting the OG of this so I can continue on. And I think this next time I'll probably just really pay attention. I'll do the audiobook too and see, because I just read this physically, but I'll do the audiobook and see if there are any changes and start tracking it. Just so we can, like, make a note, because that'll be a lot of fun. We got to jump off too. So
you can watch the replay. Watch the replay after.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. This was so fun.
Thank you for joining us. If you missed Again the Magic, it is on Christy's channel. You can watch them in order. I'll probably put a playlist on my channel. But
smart.
So much fun.
Because they've been such great conversations.
Yeah, they're so good. And like just all of the tips and stuff. If you're trying to track editing or just like Marcus or any of the mind mapping things, you can follow along or you can jump in at any time. So I cannot wait for the next book. And we will see you then on September 15th
Yes.
on
Ava's channel. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.